So I'm here to give you my Raw review for the 13th. It is currently the 14th. Went to sleep last night. Due to the blackout, I couldn't watch Raw. So, unfortunately, a term of events. I've been going through blackout problems all week. So, I was supposed to give an NXT review. Didn't give that one because of the blackout. And also, couldn't even give out any news. Well, I could have, but I didn't do it. So, don't worry. This week will be a better week. I got more stuff to give you guys. I'm going to touch on the Finn Balor situation. What's going to happen with him. Touch on the Beth Phoenix situation. Do she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I'll touch on that sometime during the course of the week. And whatever up-to-date incoming news, Impact Wrestling, ROH, they got the Hardys. I'll touch on that shit sometime during the course of this week. But here to give you the Raw review for March 13th, 2017. They start the show off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman cuts a promo for Detroit. Being the fact that Brock Lesnar is from Michigan, not Detroit, he's from Michigan. The fact that they said that this was his hometown was stupid. But that's what Raw does. That's how they get down. Paul Heyman goes on to say that, again, seeing your hero be F5 shows that there's still villains in the world and the villains are winning. And again, this is like fucking Superman versus the Hulk, I guess. Brock Lesnar being the Hulk. Fucking Goldberg being Superman. Remember, I don't know if y'all motherfuckers are in the comic books, but the Hulk broke Superman and ate him. So, that's when they did their little crossover mashup. Who would win? Yeah, the Hulk won, motherfucker. So, that was that. They come out of that to go to a backstage segment with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. Steph tells Mick Foley that, you got to fire somebody tonight. I don't give a fuck who it is. It's just what you got to do to show me that you're capable of being a fucking manager. Mick is resistance against this. Like, I don't want to do this. It's a lot of good guys on the roster. She said, make the shit happen. And again, they'll go through this during the course of the night multiple times. You got first match of the night, Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke. Good match. It was all right. Sasha Banks get a dirty roll-up pin. I don't see nothing wrong with that, especially if you're turning Sasha Banks heel for WrestleMania. You may do Bayley and Sasha after WrestleMania. That'd be good. I also would like to see Nia Jax thrown in the mix at some point in time. Fuck it. Have Nia Jax come in the three-way match and beat up all the bitches and to just walk out the ring. Just walk out the ring. No, it'll be the first fucking time ever in history, especially at WrestleMania, did any match end with a no, what is that? Not a no disqualification, no contest. There we go. That would be proper booking. You could go ahead and run that into, I don't think they get Extreme Rules. I think they get Payback. You can run that all the way into Payback. You got to have a match to determine who's going to win. You could do Sasha versus Nia versus fucking Charlotte versus fucking Bayley. Something like that. The winner of those two matches will go and fight each other at Payback. But, again, WWE is going to fuck this up. Don't be surprised if you see fucking, what's her name, get the title back. She's already been 5-time champion. I think they're going to try and shoot for her to be the 16-time world heavyweight champion. Female world heavyweight champion. Whew. Okay. Anyway, moving on. TJP and Tozawa, if I'm saying that fucking right, versus Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese. I fucking like the cruiserweight division. I think it needs more time on Raw. If you're not going to put it on Raw, put it on the network. Just let the cruiserweights get a whole hour to themselves. You can have title match after title match after title match on the fucking network. Because that's what you're trying to do, right, WWE? You can't move Raw and everything over to the network yet. Because, again, your contract with USA isn't up until, I think, December of this year or next year. So, WWE is stuck where they're at for right now, but they could do something different with the cruiserweights. Tony Nese picks up the win, and that's fucking good because Tony Nese, they're just fucking wasting him. He is not a fucking enhancement talent. He's a guy you built your roster around. Like, these are my top 10 guys that is for this division. Tony Nese should be one of them. You go to a backstage segment with the club. The club cuts a no bullshit promo. Like, fuck that. I'm not worried about who we got to fight at WrestleMania. We beating both teams. Fucking, and Ken Anderson does all the talking for the club. But I like the aspect of Luke Gallows just being the strong, the heavy. He don't say nothing. But when he says something, it's quick. It's like, I think today, tell them nerds I said F that shit or some shit like that. And again, it works. It's effective. They're doing a lot better than 3 months ago, where the fuck they wasn't even challenging for the title. Or just a month ago where they was getting squashed by Roman Reigns. Your fucking tag team champions lose it to, the next franchise player. Stupid. That goes into a backstage segment with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, of course, cuts a promo about fucking Jericho being done. I have his number. We were never friends. He's a big joke, and anybody who takes him serious is an asshole. And that was it. He walks off. He's like, I'm with new friends now. I got a whole new family. Me, Samoa Joe, and fucking Triple H. That, again, goes into, and that was an in-ring segment. That goes into the match with Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens versus fucking Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho. Sami Zayn forgive me, it's cold out there. It's so fucking cold out there. Pneumonia. Anyway. Yeah, so, this match ends in a disqualification due to Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe fucking up Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho, which is just telling me they're feeding into all this fucking Evolution 2 type shit, and eventually you'll see these two, if not as tag team champions or singles champions, on Raw. Eventually. That's how the shit goes. Fucking look at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was, if anything, Randy Orton back in the day. When fucking Triple H turned on him, he couldn't believe it. He was all fucked up. He was surprised. And fucking Triple H used that to his advantage, which, again, boosted fucking Batista for next year's WrestleMania, because he was doing the same shit for Batista the following year. He was doing the same shit to him. So I wonder what they're going to do with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. These are not your typical looking wrestlers. So you can see that it's going to be some shit. Eventually. Damn, 8 minutes in and I'm not even halfway through this shit. Okay, come on. Fuck it. Backstage segment with Mickey James. Backstage segment with Mick Foley, Stephanie McMahon, and Nia Jax. Nia Jax wanted some competition in the ring. Stephanie said, sure, I got you. But before all that, Mick Foley presents the list to Stephanie McMahon, saying, none of these people deserve to be fired. We should, it should got to be another way. And Stephanie is like, look, you got a job to do. You need to do it. That goes into another backstage segment as Mick walks away with Jinder Mahal. And Jinder Mahal wants action. He wants Rusev. He said, no, I'll give you Roman Reigns. He gives him Roman Reigns. Goes into another fucking backstage segment. So that's like a half hour just backstage segments to end the 8 o'clock hour. I think this is the 8 o'clock or start the 9 o'clock hour. So it's a segment with the New Day. And they're talking about the fucking Jetsons DVD, which Big Show is on. So, of course, Big Show, again, is the first fucking person on their new talk show. And Titus O'Neil comes out of nowhere just being a fucking clown. He comes out of nowhere saying he loves the Jetsons. They should have asked him to be on it. And again, since you're not on the fucking Jetsons, don't get a fucking have a fucking attitude or a bitch fit because you're not on the fucking Jetsons. Grow your brand. Build your name up so you can be on the fucking Jetsons. If you want to be on the fucking Jetsons, talk to Vince. Fucking Big Show is not the guy to run down on. Again, making Titus O'Neil look like a fucking clown. Why the fuck did you run down on the Big Show if you want to be on the Jetsons? You could have said, look, I don't like the Jetsons, slapped him in the face. That would have been something different than I should have been on the DVD. You're a fucking clown. No, you're not going to be on the DVD. Take your ass back there. Go, pretty sure they got, some divas that need makeup. You're good for that. They ain't pushed Titus O'Neil ever since he kissed his son on the mouth. And that's fucking weird. You did that shit on national TV, bro. Of course they're not going to give you a push. Any fucking way. Enzo and Cass versus fucking Cesaro and Sheamus. This match it was a good match all the way until the end where they got disqualified by the fucking club because the club ain't having that shit. Y'all motherfuckers want to see us at fucking WrestleMania. We'll do that. Which goes into a backstage segment with Mick Foley telling them, look, y'all going to go against both of them at WrestleMania. And if you don't like it, then oh well. I'm supposed to be firing somebody tonight. I might fire Raw's 2 tag team champions. Mick, cut the shit. You know you can't fire them. Can't fire them. All that money Vince paid for these 2 niggas to come from Japan, kiss my ass. Can't fire them. You could have fired Titus O'Neil. There you go. That way he could be on the Jetsons. He could do Kelly Ripa. He could be all over that shit. He could pull a truck. You're fired instantly. Cool. Now he's good to do whatever the fuck he got to do back there with the catering crew. JD. Anyway, that goes into a match with the next match is fucking Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. Now here's a funny thing. Undertaker has always plays mind games. This is one thing he's good at. You don't see the Undertaker until WrestleMania. It adds to he does 1 match a year. Okay, I think he's about in his 60s, maybe 70s, is the Undertaker. I forget his real name. Paul something. So, the Undertaker music hits. Fucking Roman Reigns get distracted. Jinder Mahal mounts a half-ass decent comeback, but it's Roman Reigns. He shuts that shit down, beats him very easily, and then Roman Reigns calls out the Undertaker. Instead of Undertaker coming out, fucking Shawn Michaels comes out of nowhere and says, look, man, you're not ready, okay? I don't want you to take it fucking personal. You're not ready for the Undertaker. Roman Reigns is like, listen, with all due respect, Shawn, okay, Undertaker retired you, so me and you shouldn't even be having this conversation because I'm going to be the guy that retires the Undertaker. Okay, Shawn Michaels is like, look, man, I'm just coming out giving you a warning. I do this with everybody who goes up against the Undertaker. I did it with Austin. I did it with The Rock. Well, not The Rock, but I did it with John Cena when he went up against each other in 2016 in the Hell in a Cell. He also did it with Batista, Orton. He's the guy that tells you don't do this shit because it could end your fucking career. And again, Roman's the guy who has made it very clear that he wants to be the guy that retires the Undertaker. So it looks like they're going with that stipulation that they were supposed to have with John Cena and Undertaker, which would have made for a better match. Career versus fucking title or some shit like that. But this is just going to be for the Undertaker's career, which is, again, I don't have him losing to Roman Reigns. As much as you want to build up Roman Reigns, you're not going to do it with the Undertaker. So Braun Strowman comes out after this cool ass promo, beats the fuck out of fucking Roman Reigns, looks up the ring.